first hearing is for a proposed map amendment. And Beverly, if you could scroll down and show the map location. I'm hoping council had a chance to familiarize yourself with the location. It's a peculiar situation. You'll see that little piece of yellow in there that is a piece of R20 that was left after the Village of Berkeley PD was established many years ago. Adjacent to it is zoned RM3. Across the street is RM1. And Eric Newton, who has acquired that property, and you can see the RM3 that's, I guess, to the north.
This didn't scan.
Yeah, it kind of got twisted there. But anyway, if you see where Monaco is written, if you go to the left of that, the brown RM3, that Eric owns that property and the parcel, the strange little parcel of R20 that's left there. And he's asking that that be zoned RM3 as well. And if it is, then it'll be incorporated into the RM3 that he has beside it, that half acre, and will become part of a larger parcel. So this was...
It's a little white. There's a little white.
Yes, there's a little house in there now. This accessible off of Berkeley, and it's kind of an unsafe access as it is. So if that gets, we don't know what would happen if that gets cut off, because nothing really could ever happen to that other than you'd have sort of an island of R20 of a single family house surrounded by commercial and higher density development. But anyway, Eric asked that this be rezoned to be reconsidered. Letters have gone out to all the property owners within 200 feet to notify them of this. We had one person contact us that had received a letter, and when we explained what this was, they had no further comment. No one has objected to the proposal, and this was taken to the Planning Commission, and they approved the application by a vote of 6-1.
Any, the one dissenting vote, was there a reason given?
I was not there. I think the dissenting vote may be represented here tonight, or the Planning Commission may be represented, and they may have something to offer in that regard.
Any questions from Todd from the council?
So, I am actually opposed to this. This is another case, right, that once we do this, we'll never get back. Right? In other words,
Say that again.
once we give this up from the current zoning, it will never come back and be rezoned. Because this is again, I point to you because you did a very good thing. You admonished me at the meeting once that I voted in favor of something, and why did I do that? And because I was naive and stupid. I didn't think through.
These were your words. I want to be clear.
I want to be yeah, naive and stupid. But the point being, once we start taking a piece of land out of residential, put it commercial, honestly, we never get it back.
It's not commercial.
Well, I'm sorry, it will be mixed use, so there will be student housing on it, right? It won't be.
There can be student housing.
It will be residential.
We're going from R20
Right.
to RM3. It's a higher density residential.
Right.
But in answer to your question, Fran, that as is true with every zoning designation in the city, that through the process, any of them can change based upon the recommendation of the commission and the will of council, that properties get changed. In this case, that I think the reality of what would occur is, should this be rezoned RM3, it would be incorporated into the surrounding property and developed as a unit versus left as one single-family house surrounded by commercial and high density as it is.
And I guess that's my point, that you know this too. Many times we've had to agree to allow certain kinds of housing to be in certain locations because once it's zoned to allow it, you can't unallow unlikely anyone would go and basically devalue a property by having it zoned just residential when it can't have student housing. So my concern is that once it's out of the queue, it's for just residential, it's out of the queue. And so this, to me, this is the kind of land I would love the city to buy, put something up there, whether it's public art, Best Pocket Park, a bench for people that walk like myself, leave it just green space. I just hate us to be taking stuff out of the queue. And I sat in on the planning commission meeting, so I think the plan for this is student housing of some kind.
Correct.
Denser housing than
Yes.
So again, I guess my concern is not that so much as once this land is zoned to allow it, it will never become anything less than that in terms of density, because that's basically asking someone to reduce the cost, the value of that land. So I just don't like the notion again that once we do this, and then someone says to me, well, Frank, why is that student housing there? My answer has to be because it was zoned to allow it, and we have no choice once that happens. So 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, I just would prefer this to be, even if it was just an empty lot, that the city, and I know the expenses bought, and turn it into a park, turn it into a public park. I don't know what else it could be. It just strikes me that we're putting ourselves in the same position that we've been in lots of times where we can't say no because the zoning dictates what it can be used. And that's what I meant by admonishment, in the sense that I did not think that far in the future. Probably don't know what I'm referring to. I just didn't imagine 5 or 10 years after my vote what the result of that was going to be. So I think it'd be more comfortable to decide if I knew what road it was going to be, because once the vote is done, what's doing 5 or 10 years from now is not predictable, but it's also not controllable by us within the zone. So that's why I'm just opposed to the notion of moving any piece of land to somewhere that...
To a higher use designation. And by the way, I'm almost positive that this is being used as student housing now. I think there's students living in the house.
In the rest of it.
Yeah, the rental house.
This is on that little road that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I think it was Airport Road, they called it. Yeah, kind of. If it had gone straight, it would go into Monaco Estates. And it abuts the village of Berkeley, which is a townhome development. It's adjacent to...
And I walk past, it just strikes me funny, Airport Road, if someone was a real optimist.
Oh, yeah.
But that's my position on it. I wish Eric or someone was here, I don't think they are, to kind of address what their plans are and how my concern can be
The
assuaged.
plans are to put in student housing, townhomes, and that's, I've seen some of the initial plans for that, and that this would probably, what it would do, it would allow for, it would give them greater flexibility in how the inflow and outflow of that site operated, because as it stands right now, it's a piece between the higher density and the street. That,
This is not for sale, it's already been sold.
beg your pardon?
So that piece is not for sale, it's already been sold. It's not on the market.
My understanding is the RM3 has been purchased, and that since Eric made the request, I don't have that information, is that only the owner can make the request. So,
Nathan's here.
there you go. Sorry. Good to see you.
Sorry for my delay. My name is Nathan Clark. I'm here on behalf of Eric Newton. I'm his attorney and attorney for Tiger Properties. So, as he was saying, that this property is currently a rental property. If the zoning, if it's not rezoned, if the designation is not changed, it's still going to be purchased by the people who have it under contract, and it will just remain an income-producing rental property. I'm not trying to say that that's inevitable, but that does seem like what will be the case. I think as has already been said, you have the PD development right behind it. and then RM3 all around it. So as far as, it would be unlikely that, I mean, obviously the city could buy it, or if it were ever for sale, someone could buy it and make it a green space or whatever. There is plans, I think, I mean, they haven't been finalized, but in this development, that there will be green space in that development. In fact, this might be part of that. I don't know. Obviously, we're kind of early stages of that, but it would be unlikely that it would ever sell to someone who would want to, come in and build a single-family residence there, which obviously you could do now with its current zoning designation. But that would be unlikely, just because I don't think that a lot of people would want to build a house right there on Highway 93, adjacent to a PD development right behind you, and then on the other side of you, a student housing development, townhouses or whatever. Again, it's not necessarily, obviously, in this city, in this market, a lot of students rent. We don't exclude anybody else, so anybody could live there. Tigertown Farmhouse is a good example. We have some professionals living there. We have a dentist. We have graduate students, not just undergraduate students. So, I just want to make that clear that it's possible that anybody could rent it. And these will be it's likely that they'll be sort of on the higher end per bed, kind of like the farmhouses and some of the other newer properties around town. So, from an aesthetic standpoint, if that matters, I think what will replace what's there, it will be nice. We wouldn't want to build anything that's not nice, but that house is fairly, it's been there a long time.
And again, I do know all that, but I think even if it's left as a rental, it will be less density. It'll be what it is now, right? And to be honest with you, and we're not voting on this tonight, I understand that, but maybe I'm giving you a heads up for when we do vote on it, to sort of maybe help answer some of my questions. But to me, to be honest with you, the idea that it's islands surrounded by those other zoning is a good thing, not a bad thing. I don't think because it's different, that's the rationale. It's just how I feel about it.
Any other questions or comments from council? For either Todd or you? Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else from the public like to speak on this matter? See, no one